If you ever wanted to create incredible AI art right here on your own computer with total control over every detail and for completely free, then you need to know about a powerful tool called ComfyUI. Hey everyone, I'm Manny and this is Codebreakers. Today we're stripping it all back to basics. No jargon, no complex setups, just the absolute beginner's guide to getting ComfyUI up and running.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Downloading your first model and generating your first image. It might be a bit scary, but I promise it's amazing. Imagine a character, not just a face, but a personality. A story waiting to be told. It starts as a whisper in your mind, a fleeting image. But what if you could reach in and give that vision form? What if you could meticulously sculpt every line, every shadow, every spark in their eyes, guiding the creative process until they look exactly as you pictured? But why stop there? What if you could breathe life into your creation? To see them move, react, step out from a static image into a world of motion. To witness that spark of imagination truly ignite and take its first step. This isn't some far-off future dream, or a secret locked away in multi-million-dollar studios anymore. This incredible power to dream up a character, to refine it to perfection, and to bring it to vibrant life is closer than you think. It's about understanding the tools, breaking down the process, and unleashing your creativity. And today we're going to crack open that toolbox. We're starting with the absolute essentials, the very first steps on this incredible journey. So if you're ready to start creating, let's get into it. But hold on, before we jump into the install, what is ComfyUI and why should you be excited? In a nutshell, ComfyUI is one of the most powerful, flexible and completely free open source tools for AI image and even video generation. Think of it as a visual programming environment for cutting-edge AI art. Instead of just simple text boxes, ComfyUI uses a node-based interface, like a flowchart, giving you unparalleled control over every step of the AI creation process. It might look like a bit of a mad scientist lab at first, but that's where the magic happens. It lets you build custom workflows, experiment like crazy, and achieve results that are simply impossible with more basic tools. Today, we're starting simple, but you're unlocking a beast. Alright Codebreakers, let's get you set up with ComfyUI the absolute easiest way, especially if you're in Windows. First stop, the official hub, comfy.org, or you can go directly to the ComfyUI GitHub release pages, but don't worry, I'll have links in the description. From comfy.org, you'll want to find the most straightforward download option. Look for the download link. The desktop application or the Windows portable package usually take you to a page where you can grab a pre-packaged version perfect for Windows users. Once that installer file is downloaded, just find it in your downloads folder. Double-click it to run. It's like installing most other Windows applications. The installer will guide you through a few steps. You'll likely be able to choose where you want to install ComfyUI. Pick a location that makes sense for you. Perhaps a dedicated AI tools folder on your C drive. Just follow the on-screen prompts. One of the great things about this installer is that it will usually create a desktop shortcut for ComfyUI for you, making it super easy to launch. Once the installation is complete, look for that new ComfyUI icon. Now, ComfyUI is our amazing workshop, but every workshop needs its master tools. So you've got ComfyUI installed and running. Now before we grab our first AI model, let's quickly look at where it needs to go. When you extracted that portable package, it created a main folder for ComfyUI. Inside that folder, you'll find a really important subfolder called Models. Now this is a very important folder as it will hold all of the different models that we will download. Within the Models folder, there's another crucial folder called Checkpoints. Think of Checkpoints subfolder as a special shelf where you keep the main brains or personalities for our AI artist. These big model files are often called checkpoints. So just remember this path for now. ComfyUI folder, Models folder, Checkpoints. That's where our main AI model will live. Don't worry about the other folders in the models for now. We're keeping it simple today. We'll explore what all those other folders like LoRa's and VAE are for when we go into a more advanced setup. For now, Checkpoints is our spot, and this is where we are going to download our first model. Alright, now that we know where our AI model needs to live, let's go and get one. The most popular place to find a huge variety of AI models is a website called civitai.com. Think of it as a giant art gallery and a library for AI artists. Once you're on Civitai, you can search for models. There are tons. For our first image, let's find a good general purpose one. A popular choice for beginners is Dream Shaper, as it's quite versatile and works well with simple prompts. When you find the models page, you'll see a download button. You'll want to download the file that ends in .safetensors. That's just a safe and common file type for these models. Click download and save it to somewhere you can find it, like your downloads folder. Once it's downloaded, remember that special checkpoints folder we were just looking at. Simply find your downloaded .safetensors model file and drag it and drop it into that checkpoints folder. That's it. You've just given your ComfyUI its first AI brain. Now, there's many different types of models out there. Some are huge, some are small, some are for specific styles, some are called LoRa's that tweak other models. It's a whole universe. But for today, getting this main checkpoint model into your checkpoints folder is all that you need to worry about. We'll definitely unpack the rest of that universe and even how to manage a giant collection of models in our more advanced pro setup video. For now, let's get back to Comfy and load up this new model. Now, before we connect everything to make our first image, let's quickly talk about what we're seeing on this canvas. This is ComfyUI's node-based interface. So what exactly are nodes? Think of each of these boxes as a specialized worker or a Lego brick. Each node performs one specific job. For example, the load checkpoint node. Its job is to load our main AI model. The empty latent image node is to create a blank canvas for the AI to paint on. Nodes have inputs on the left where data comes in and outputs on the right where data goes out. You connect these inputs and outputs with wires or noodles to create a flow of information. This flow, this chain of connected nodes, is your workflow. It's the recipe the AI follows to create your image. Alright, Codebreakers, we've got our ComfyUI open and we'll start with a blank canvas. So what if you want to add some nodes and find a specific tool for a task? That's where ComfyUI's node library comes in, and it's super easy to access. One way is to simply right-click anywhere on the empty canvas. This brings up a menu. You can then go to Add Node and explore different categories like loaders, samplers, image processing, and so on. You'll see a huge list of available nodes. But my preferred way, and the real Codebreaker shortcut, is to double-click on any part of the empty canvas, and bam, this pops up a super handy search palette. You could also access the node library and the search bar in the left pane. So you see this search bar at the top? Just start typing the name of the node you want. For example, if you want to find a K-sampler, just start typing K-sampler and see how the list instantly filters. This is incredibly fast for finding any nodes you need out of the hundreds available, including any custom nodes you might add later. Once you see the node you want, just click it, and it appears right on the canvas, ready to be part of your workflow. Simple as that. Alright, Codebreakers, it's time to build our first image generation pipeline. We're going to place all the necessary nodes on our canvas first, and I'll give you a super quick idea of what each one does. Remember, you can double-click the canvas to search for these nodes by name. First up, we need our load checkpoint node. This is where we tell ComfyUI which main AI model to use, like our Dream Shaper XL. Next, we need to talk to our AI. We'll add 2 clip texting code prompt nodes. One will be for our positive prompt, telling the AI what we want to see, and the other will be for our negative prompt, what we don't want to see. Then we need a canvas for our AI to paint on. That's the empty latent image node. We'll set its size here, like 1024 by 1024 pixels for our Excel model. Now for the powerhouse, the K-sampler. This is the main engine that takes all our inputs, the model, the prompts, and the blank canvas, and then actually generates the image through a diffusion process. The K-sampler creates an image in an abstract latent form. To see it as a normal picture, we need the VAE decode node. This translates the AI's abstract art into pixels. And finally, to see our masterpiece, we'll add a save image node. You can also use an image node if you just want to see it on the canvas without saving it every time. Perfect. All our key players are on stage. Now let's connect them and bring this workflow to life. Okay, Codebreakers, all our nodes are on the canvas. Time to wire them up. We're essentially telling ComfyUI how information should flow from one component to the next. Watch closely. First, the main model from our load checkpoint plugs directly into the model input of our K-sampler, the brains to the engine. The clip output from load checkpoint, that's our text understanding part, goes to the clip input of our positive prompt node. And that same clip output from the load checkpoint also connects to the clip input on our negative prompt node. Both prompts use the same text brain. Now the conditioning output from our positive prompt, that's our what we want instruction, connects to the positive input on the K-sampler. And the conditioning from our negative prompt, our what we want to avoid instruction, goes to the negative input on the K-sampler. The latent output from our empty latent image, our blank canvas, plugs into the latent image input on the K-sampler. Once the K-sampler does its thing, its latent output, the AI's abstract art, goes into the latent input on our VAE decode node. So the VAE decode also needs the actual VAE model, which our load checkpoint provides. So connect the VAE output from the load checkpoint to the VAE input on the VAE decode. And for the grand finale, the image output from the VAE decode goes right into the image's input on our save image node. And boom, that's your complete basic text-to-image workflow, all wired up, ready for action. And there we have it, Codebreakers. Our ComfyUI workflow is fully assembled. A perfectly connected pipeline ready to transform our ideas into pixels. Every wire is in place, every node primed for action. Now for the most crucial ingredient, our creative command. Let's navigate to our positive prompt box. This is where we paint our vision with words. For our very first masterpiece with Dreamshaper XL, let's conjure something magical. Type this in, a cute fluffy pink dragon. In the negative box, type what we don't want to see. Blurry, distorted, extra limbs. With our vision clearly articulated, there's only one thing left to do. Let's cue the prompt. And behold our magnificent creation, a super cute, fluffy, pink dragon. How incredible is that? You've just witnessed the core magic of ComfyUI, taking a powerful AI model like Dreamshaper XL, giving it your creative direction through prompts and watching it bring your vision to life, pixel by pixel. So you've successfully navigated the essential nodes, wiring them up, queued your first prompt. This entire process, loading the model, defining your canvas, writing your prompts, and letting the K-sampler do its work. This is the fundamental heartbeat of generating almost any image in ComfyUI. You've now got your foundational skill. This is genuinely just the beginning. With this setup, you can now experiment with countless prompts, different settings, and later on, even entirely new models and workflows. But have you ever wondered where a cutting-edge open-source tool like ComfyUI, which is constantly evolving with new features and capabilities, actually comes from? Who builds it? Where does all this innovation happen? Well, to understand that, we need to take a quick peek behind the curtain into the bustling digital workshop where ComfyUI and many other amazing open-source projects are forged. And that place, Codebreakers, is GitHub. Now, GitHub is a massive online workshop and library, the central place where developers and entire communities host, share, and collaborate on software projects, especially amazing open source tools like ComfyUI. It uses Git under the hood to keep track of every single change and the version of the project's code. And here you will find the very heart of ComfyUI. You'll see the complete source code, the actual blueprint that makes ComfyUI tick. This is where the developers contribute improvements and new features. You'll also find the releases section. This is where those packaged versions like Windows Portable Installer we might have used are officially published. You can also find previous versions here too, or see what's new in the latest official builds. Beyond that, GitHub hosts the project's issues tracker. That's where users and developers report bugs or suggest changes. There's often a discussions tab or links to forums, and the wiki, packed with guides, community help, and deeper explanations. It's a treasure trove of information and the pulse of ComfyUI's community development. Essentially, GitHub is the central nervous system for ComfyUI, from the raw code to the packaged downloads and vital community interactions. Okay, Codebreakers, here's a fantastic bonus that often comes with these easy ComfyUI installer packages. You might already have a super powerful tool called the ComfyUI Manager pre-installed. If you see a manager button in your menu, or perhaps a little sidebar, well, that's it. But what does the manager do? It's your command center for expanding ComfyUI. It lets you easily browse, install, and update custom nodes. Those amazing add-ons created by the community that unlock new features, new models, and entirely new workflows. It can also help update ComfyUI itself and manage other components. You don't need to dive into it right now for basic image generation, but just knowing it's there is a huge advantage. It means when you're ready to explore beyond the basics, expanding ComfyUI's power will be much simpler. We'll cover using the manager in detail in our Pro Setup Guide. So let's recap this whirlwind tour. We started at comfy.org. We used the super easy Windows installer, got ComfyUI running with a desktop icon, learned a bit about its file structure, and downloaded our first SDXL model. We then demystified nodes, built our first workflow to create an awesome image, got a peek at GitHub, and discovered you might already have a powerful ComfyUI manager ready to go. You've laid a fantastic foundation today. This isn't just about one image, it's about unlocking a new way to create and experiment with AI. If this guide helped you launch into ComfyUI, definitely hit that like button. It makes a huge difference, and make sure you subscribe with notifications on, because our ultimate setup guide is where we really dive deep into Git, those virtual environments, mastering the ComfyUI manager, and so much more.
Continue exploring the cutting edge. Subscribe to Codebreakers for your regular deep dive into AI and technology.